Hey everyone, it's Bree. I'm back with another scrapbook process video for SpiegelMom Scraps, and I'm super excited to share this one with y'all today. I am going to be using this flower petal punch, and I got this idea off of a recent layout that Paige Evans had made. She had created a layout and had a scrapbook process video up on YouTube, and I had just happened to pick up that same punch from Hobby Lobby about when they had their really good sale. I think it was a couple months back. And I've been really wanting to use it, but I haven't really, had an idea. And then when I saw her use it, I was completely inspired, and I'm totally scrap lifting this from her. And I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it. I have this really pretty pattern paper from a Dear Lizzie line that I got in one of my Hip Kit Club kits. And I thought this would be perfect for the layout because it did have my favorite colors that I really like to scrapbook with, like the yellow, the mint, and the pink. Well, maybe really not yellow, but I like gold, and I thought the yellow was a close second. Okay, so I punched out all of my petals, and I'm kind of playing around with my design here. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to lay it out? It's really not looking like how Paige's looked. So I fiddle around with it for a little bit, and then you're going to see me. I'm just going to knock them all off and kind of just, restart. I mean, it looks good from here, when you're looking at it, but when I was actually doing it, I'm like, this looks like a hot mess. So I flip-flopped. Instead of having my photo on the left, I switched it to the right, and I just started committing and just okay, this is looking better. I'm using both sizes of the petals and kind of fanning them out. And on Paige's layout, she actually stitched all of hers down. And I have a sewing machine. It's just not working right now, and I really have to figure out how to fix it, or I need to pay to have it fixed, because I think it would look so much better with all the petals stitched down. It just adds that other, a different element and texture. But I'm still really pleased with how it came out, even without the stitching. Okay, so I've laid them all out, and I kind of traced where I was going to put my photo, so I knew, how close I needed to get my petals, to where my photo was going to lay. And I'm using a photo of me and my mom when she was visiting out in Hawaii. We were just messing around in Walmart, and we were making silly faces. And I've been wanting to scrapbook this for a while, and her shirt matches this pattern paper perfectly. So it just happened to be the winner. And so, like I mentioned before, my sewing machine isn't working, so I did want to add texture. So I did fluff up the edges of each petal to make them stand up a little bit and add dimension and create some shadow. So of course, like most of the layouts that I create, I always add mixed media. So I'm going in and I'm adding some white gesso. I was trying to add clear gesso, but I couldn't open my container of it, and I'm totally impatient if you haven't known that about me. So I just put it to the side, and I grabbed my white gesso. So I'm just kind of lightly applying it here and there, kind of in the spaces I know where I'm going to add color. I don't add too much to it because I didn't want it to completely look like a mess, but I did want to add some color. So I'm just going through and applying the gesso in some of the spots, and then I am adding it to some of the petals to kind of tone down the color so it's not too busy, because this pattern paper was very busy. I didn't really know how to incorporate it into other layouts, so being able to punch out smaller shapes with it, I was able to use it. It did kind of, I don't know, not scare me, but I just really didn't know what to do with it, honestly. Okay, so now I'm on to my next media, and of course I pull out my favorite medium, and it's Shimmerz paints, and I'm using one of my favorite colors. I think it's Sweetheart, I believe. Where did I put it? Sorry. Yeah, it's a Vibez and Sweetheart, and Sweetheart does have shimmer. And so this is one of my favorite trios at the moment. It's the Sweetheart, and then the one I'm using now is a Coloringz in Ose, can you see? And Coloringz is a flat color. It doesn't have any shimmer. And these colors match this pattern paper perfectly. And then, what am I adding? A Vibez and Egg Noggin. So two of them have shimmer, and then the Coloringz doesn't have shimmer. So I'm just using the smushing or packaging technique and getting the color on and doing some splatters. And now I'm applying the gold Color Shine by Heidi Swapp, which I've heard recently that is currently discontinued, and I'm super sad about it. A couple weeks ago, I had gone on Amazon and saw that it was still available, and I was going to buy like 2 more just in case, and I was like, oh, it's on here, I don't need to worry about it, and I can't find it anywhere, and I'm super sad. So when mine runs out, I'm going to cry. Okay, so there's my photo, and I didn't want to make my layers too crazy. Like, as I said, like, my mixed media is not very much. It's very subtle. I really wanted the petals and the photo to be, you know, to stand out and be the focus. I didn't want to embellish too much, and I didn't want to have too much going on. So I pulled out my 6x6 paper pad by Paige Evans and Pink Paisley. I think this is Take Me Away. Is it Take Me Away, or is it Oh My Heart? It's Take Me Away. And this like jewel paper matches perfectly. It is so pretty. So I matted my photo with the vellum, and then I backed it with this pretty pattern paper, and I roughed up the edges, and then I'm just applying some craft foam to give it some dimension. And that's foam that I picked up at Walmart. And before I apply everything, I think I'm working on my title and kind of pulling out and seeing what else I can add to my page without it being too much. So my title is just going to be silly fun. It's just a generic title. I am not very good at titles. But, you know, we were having fun and being silly while we were shopping at Walmart, and, you know, it was just the simplest store trip, but I don't really see my mom too often. I probably see her once every couple years if I'm lucky. And her and my stepdad happened to visit us in Hawaii for like 12 days, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So spending time with her is just the best. So yeah, so my title is Silly Fun, and then I end up adding some glue to those stickers because they will end up falling off eventually, especially sitting on mixed media, you know, all the paint and gesso. So definitely reinforce whatever you're adding to mixed media. Reinforce with some, you know, Scotch tacky glue, or like, what is it? Tombow glue, like any kind of liquid glue, I guess, whatever you have on hand. Okay, so I am going to glue my photo down, and I have those puffy stickers that were exclusive to the Hip Kit Club kits, I think from last month, and I really wanted to use that butterfly. I keep pulling that big butterfly in, and it just doesn't work. I don't know. So I think I ended up just pulling one little flower from there, and then what do I have here? I pull out my sticker sheet from the Maggie Holmes Flourish collection, and I add a couple butterflies, and then I think I add a ticket eventually that says love you. I'm just kind of seeing what else I could maybe add, and then I tuck that little tag underneath my photo. But I didn't really want to do too much embellishing. Like I said, my page is busy enough, but the way my petals are kind of situated, like in Paige's layout, you know, your eyes are drawn in towards the photo. So here comes the fun part. Those are some newly released sequin mixes from SpiegelMom Scraps. Jody knocked it out of the park with these. Let's see, the first one I'm using is 50s Sock Off, and I'm pulling a lot of the light pinks and the pinks. And I'm spraying, I was about to say I'm spraying. I'm spreading the sequins around and putting all of them on top of the petals. And I really like how that turns out. And then the second package I pulled out was In Your Dreams, and I think I pulled most of the mint color and maybe a few of the peach ones. And then the third mix is, of course, Confetti Cake, which is right now a current favorite besides Ariel's Tail, but I honestly like them both. But that Confetti Cake, it is just so beautiful. So I'm just spreading them around, and then I do add a couple puffy hearts from my Pink Fresh Studio sticker sheet, and then a couple flowers from another puffy Pink Fresh Studio sheet. I don't remember what the names are, but yeah, that is basically it. I'm just gonna, you know, add some final touches with these beautiful sequins, and I'm done. It was simple. It was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed the process. I will have links to everything below. My code is Brianna15. Use that to save 15% off in your next order. And once again, thank you so much for commenting, for subscribing, and liking my videos. Here is the final shot of my layout. I hope you enjoyed this process, and I'll be back soon with another project for you, soon. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Bye.